Most people will only value you after they lose you. Painful truth about human nature. That's a harsh truth many people learn too late. Most people don't recognize your value while you're present in their life. They get used to your kindness, your loyalty, your time, your attention, and your effort. What once felt special slowly becomes normal to them. Human beings often take consistency for granted. They assume the people who care deeply will always stay, always forgive, and always return no matter how poorly they are treated. But the moment you step back, become distant, or disappear completely, reality suddenly hits them. Your absence creates a silence they cannot ignore. That's when they finally understand what you truly brought into their life. This video is about why people only value you after losing you, how emotional familiarity blinds appreciation, and why walking away sometimes reveals your worth more than staying ever could. People often appreciate presence only after absence, when someone sees you every day, hears from you constantly, or receives your support regularly. They slowly stop noticing your importance. Your effort becomes part of their routine. The human mind adapts quickly to comfort. What was once appreciated becomes expected. They stop saying thank you. They stop noticing your sacrifices. They stop respecting your emotional energy because they assume it will always be available. But the moment you're gone, the emotional gap becomes visible. Suddenly the conversations become colder, the support disappears, the comfort vanishes. They realize your presence was holding together more parts of their life than they understood. Absence creates clarity. People notice value when they can no longer access it. That is why distance often teaches lessons that love alone could not teach. Familiarity makes people take you for granted. One of the biggest reasons people lose appreciation is familiarity. The more available you are, the more ordinary you appear in their eyes. This doesn't mean your value decreases. It means their awareness decreases. Constant access removes urgency. When someone knows you'll always answer, always help, always forgive, and always remain loyal, they stop treating your effort as something precious. This happens in friendships, relationships, families, and even workplaces. The reliable person is often the least appreciated because everyone assumes reliability is permanent. But nothing in life is guaranteed. Once you stop overextending yourself, people suddenly realize how much emotional labor you were carrying silently. Sometimes the strongest people are valued the least because they make difficult things look easy. Some people never respect what comes too easily. Human psychology often values difficulty more than availability. People chase what feels rare, uncertain, or difficult to replace. Unfortunately, when you constantly give your time, energy, and attention without limits, some people subconsciously see you as easily replaceable. Not because you lack value, but because you never required them to earn your presence. The moment you stop chasing, stop explaining, and stop overgiving, their perspective changes. They realize your calmness, loyalty, patience, and emotional support were not common qualities. They begin comparing others to you and understand how rare your character actually was. Sometimes people only recognize gold after they lose access to it. Your silence speaks louder than your explanations. Many people spend years trying to prove their worth through words, sacrifices, and endless explanations. But often, the more you explain yourself, the less people truly listen. Real value is usually recognized through absence, not arguments. When you quietly remove yourself from disrespect, neglect, or emotional exhaustion, your silence becomes powerful. Suddenly, people replay old conversations in their mind. They remember your advice, your loyalty, your support during hard times, and your consistency. The emotional space you leave behind forces reflection. What they ignored while you were present becomes unforgettable once you are gone. Silence has a way of revealing truths that words cannot force people to understand. Losing you forces people to face reality. As long as you remain available, some people avoid accountability. They believe they can continue neglecting you without consequences. But when you finally walk away, they are forced to experience the results of their behavior. They lose emotional security. They lose comfort. They lose genuine support. And sometimes they realize nobody else treats them the way you did. This is why many people return after losing someone valuable. Not always because they changed completely, but because reality exposed what they failed to appreciate. Your absence becomes the lesson. And often, by the time they finally understand your worth, you've already outgrown the need for their validation. 6. Never beg people to see your worth. One of the most damaging things you can do is constantly try to convince people to value you. Real appreciation cannot be forced. If someone repeatedly overlooks your effort, disrespects your boundaries, or ignores your emotional presence, no amount of explaining will make them suddenly understand. Your worth, your job is not to beg for recognition. Your job is to recognize yourself. The people who truly value you won't need repeated reminders to respect your presence. They will naturally appreciate your effort because emotional maturity allows them to recognize rare qualities before losing them. Self-respect means understanding that your value does not decrease simply because someone failed to notice it. 7. Walking away is sometimes the greatest form of self-respect. There comes a moment when staying becomes more painful than leaving. When you continue giving to people who constantly overlook your worth, you slowly damage your own confidence. Walking away is not weakness. It is choosing peace over emotional exhaustion. It is refusing to remain in places where your presence is treated casually. The moment you stop tolerating disrespect, you begin rebuilding your self-worth. And ironically, that's often when others suddenly start respecting you too. Not because you changed your value, but because you stopped allowing them unlimited access to it. Boundaries reveal value. Distance creates perspective. Self-respect changes how others perceive you. 8. The right people will value you while they still have you. Not everyone waits until lost to appreciate someone. Emotionally mature people understand the importance of gratitude, loyalty, and presence before it's too late. They notice effort. They acknowledge sacrifices. They communicate appreciation openly because they understand how rare genuine people are in today's world. Goal is not to make everyone regret losing you. The goal is to surround yourself with people who never needed to lose you to understand your importance. Real relationships are built on mutual respect, not delayed realization. The right people protect what they value instead of waiting until it disappears. Never stay where you're constantly underappreciated. At some point in life, you must stop trying to prove your worth to people determined to overlook it. Most people only value what they had after it's gone, but that does not mean you should remain where you are unseen, unheard, or unappreciated. Your kindness is valuable. Your loyalty is valuable. Your energy, presence, and peace are valuable. If someone fails to recognize that while you're still there, let life teach them what your absence feels like. Sometimes losing you becomes the lesson they refuse to learn any other way. And while they are finally realizing your worth, you should already be moving toward people and environments where your value is recognized without needing to disappear first.